Good morning and welcome to today's meeting. I would like to officially open the meeting at 9:35 a.m. and acknowledge that we are hosting this meeting on the traditional land of the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation. We acknowledge the Aboriginal people as the traditional custodians of Western Australia. Pay respects to elders past and present and the ongoing connection between people, land, waters and community. This meeting will be run in accordance with DAP Standing Orders 2025 under the Planning and Development DAP Regulations 2011. This meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the DAP website in accordance with the Regulation 2A, the Planning and Development DAP Regulations 2011. Members may refer to technical devices throughout today's meeting to assist them in considering the information before them. We have panel members today. To my right, we have the Deputy Presiding Member, Clayton Hine. To my left, we have Heidi Hergert, Specialist Member. Online, we have Councillor Matthew Rouse. At this stage, we have not yet, Councillor Barry Winmar is not here, but will be entering the meeting when he arrives. My name is Francesca Lafanti, Presiding Member. We have no apologies for today's meeting. The minutes of this meeting, as with other DAP meetings, will be available on the website. We have one item on today's agenda, and that's relating to Part B, City of Kwinana. Members, can I have a show of hands that you've duly considered all the documentation contained in Part B of the agenda and Part B related information with the addendum to the RA being published on the 19th of September 2025. For the minute taker, that is unanimous, noting that it is only 4 members that are currently in the room. Members, do you have any disclosures of interest in relation to this item? And in relation to, we'll first go online to Councillor Matthew Rouse. Was this matter considered at all by a councillor or a briefing session?
Yeah, no disclosures from me, and this has not been to council for discussion.
Thank you. Members in the room, are there any disclosures of interest? There are no disclosures of interest for the minute taker, again noting that there are 4 of us in the room present. We will now move forward to our item on today's meeting. It is item 3.1, number 676 Albina Avenue in Anketel. It's a car wash and liquor store. We do have one presentation, and it's a presentation from applicant Ryan Soja Janagara. And we also have in the room today Chris Airy, who is also participating in today's meeting. Online, we have from the applicant's team, Tracy Nichols, Peter Nugent and Dave Crispin online. I will now about to hand over to you for your presentation. We do have the presentation they'll put on the screen for you. As you're probably aware, in accordance with the DAP Standing Orders 2024, clause 4.8.2, your presentation is limited to 3 minutes, and you have seen that everybody has indicated they have received and read the material provided. I will hand over to you before going to questions from the panel.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I'll be very brief. Basically, the point of the deputation here is just to acknowledge all, the reasons why the application was deferred, and also to demonstrate that we've moved forward and addressed the matters that the concerns that the DAP panel have raised. First off, engaging an arborist to look and review the tree, to amend the plans accordingly to be able to retain the tree as best we can, and then also just to update the traffic impact statement, looking at the swept paths and providing a little bit more information regarding deliveries and waste management. Next slide, please. So this is just a copy of the original plans that you see in front of you that was presented to the DAP back in July. We can confirm that the tree species is actually the Red River gum tree, the Eucalyptus calamandensis, with a height of about 17 meters and a diameter breast height of 0.73 meters. Next slide. Next slide. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, so these are photos you see on the left bottom corner, the photos that were taken by the arborist, David Crispin, who's also available for any questions if you require. When he went on site, they double checked the location of the root system, so that way we can ensure that we're able to meet the necessary clearances to avoid damaging the root system, and also establish the APZ. Next slide, please. Subsequently, in order to retain the tree, what we've had to do was we've had to remove one of the vacuum bays. So instead of having four.
Instead of having 4, we've gone to 3.
We've gone to 3, and also removing the canopy cover over vacuum bay 1, so it is an open bay. The site levels have been raised in order to minimize the site cut around the tree, and then the follow-on effects being the stormwater drainage plans redesigned to accommodate new levels. And then also, in addition, was that the minimum height clearance for the car wash bays have been raised from 4 meters to 4.5 meters. And as you can see in the bottom corner, we've the elevations reflect the retention of that tree. Next slide, please. In terms of deliveries, so we've provided a little bit more clarity here. The liquor store will have the deliveries using the standard 8.8 meter medium rigged vehicle. The idea being is that the deliveries will occur in the mornings. Wash bay 3 will be closed during that time and blocked off by traffic cones. With the car wash, the deliveries needed to supply the car wash are a lot smaller and a lot less frequent. So a small rigid vehicle will be sufficient. And again, closing down wash bay 3 and blocked off by traffic cones in the mornings. Next slide, please. And in the rare occurrence that there are also cars that decide to beat the early morning traffic and get their cars washed before starting the morning, we do have. We just want to show this slide here, which demonstrates that the other wash bays can be used while the deliveries are being made through wash bay 3, but again, will be blocked off by cones. In addition to that, the City of Kwinana have imposed a condition 9, which requires an access strategy plan be provided. It's usually a condition that's imposed on much larger developments, but just to reassure the DAP that this is something that is being considered seriously, the condition has been recommended and we have no objections to it. Next slide, please. In terms of waste management, we've again updated the sweat pass and also the route that the waste trucks will take, which is going through the reciprocal right of access easements that are carried over throughout the development, as you can see on the bottom left screen. In terms of the number of bins required, it's in previous discussions with the city, it was recommended to have 3 general waste bins, 2 recycling bins to accommodate both developments, both the car wash and the liquor store. The car wash won't have as much waste as the liquor store, but either other way, waste will be collected from the reciprocal right of access and collected by a private contractor, which is covered off by condition 8 of the recommended development approval. Last slide. And on that note, the only request that we're making in terms of the conditions is just updating the dates just to reference the latest set of plans. We've spoken with the City of Kwinana beforehand and can confirm that the latest set of plans that you see before you, September 5th, was actually considered in the revised assessment, and they've had no objections to updating accordingly. And that's it.
Thank you for your presentation. Panel members, do you have any questions? I will first go to Councillor Matthew Rouse online. Do you have any questions?
Nothing from me, Chair.
Okay, sorry, at this juncture, I've just been advised Councillor Barry Winmar, you are online, is that correct?
Yes, thanks, presiding member. Yeah, apologies for that. I was having some technical difficulties.
Not a problem. Just before we continue, we'll just make a note that you've joined the meeting at 9:44. And before we continue to questions, I'll just go back to disclosures of interest. Can you advise if you have, this is a declaration of due consideration, that you have duly considered the documentation contained within Part B of the agenda and Part B related information, and noting the addendum to the RA was published on the 19th of September?
Yes.
Okay, that's due consideration. Thank you for the minute taker. And can you advise, do you have any disclosures of interest in relation to this item?
No disclosures of interest, presiding member. Thank you.
Thank you for that. We'll continue with the meeting. Were you able to hear the presentation provided, noting it is the same as the documentation that was received by the applicant?
Yes, Madam Presiding Member, I was able to view it on another device, and that's why I changed over. So,
thank you. Do you have any questions at this juncture to the applicant?
no questions to the applicant at this stage. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Councillor Matthew Rouse, do you have any questions to the applicant?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Members in the room, do you have any questions to the applicant? Yes,
Just two
Heidi.
minor questions. The designated bin store to the right of the liquor store, is that for just the liquor store or is it for both the our dog wash and the liquor store?
At this stage, it's intended for both.
Okay.
Further, you know,
That's fine, and that'll be addressed in an updated waste management plan.
with the confirmed with the contractor as well.
Okay, yep, great, thanks. Now, just clarification. This isn't, there's no drive-through element to the liquor store, is there?
No.
No, okay, that's all.
Thank you. Any further questions? Yes, Clayton Hine.
What's the location for the curbside bin collection?
What we're intending at the moment is that the curbside collection would be, sorry, I'm just bringing up the plans.
We go back to the plan. Screw.
This one?
Yeah, that'll do. What's the location there?
So at this stage, the intended location is to be either near or in front of one of the car parking bays, and or otherwise just directly opposite the landscaping strip. So just abutting it. Sorry, that's just there. But that will be confirmed with the contractor as well. So that way we make sure that the collection of the waste will be at a time in which it doesn't impact you know, the business hours of the liquor store or the car wash.
So you're saying if it's outside the parking bays, that would be prior to liquor store opening hours?
Correct. So we'd work with the contractor, so Inways or another company, just to make sure that we can avoid any potential conflicts.
With the delivery of liquor to the store, I presume that will come from a number of liquor distributors. So there'll be many trucks.
Should only come from one. So I've been and met Bottle Mart is the company that we're looking to be aligned with. So I went and met with Bottle Mart and their distributor. We've allowed for the medium rigid truck, but they basically said they come to site, look at what room we've got. So there's a fair chance we'll even be in a smaller vehicle. So we've gone to worst case. And it'll be coming from the one distributor.
So inside loading truck?
No, it'll be again it'll either be a side loading for sort of small forks to come off, or through the rear.
So if it's a small forklift,
yep,
then that won't work, will it, if you move into the bay?
It'll be so where we've got our lines where they come in through back bay one, we can have it rear loaded to get it off the back. So they accommodate what we need. So it's been a lengthy discussion with them that I've had.
And in terms of timing, they'll match your requirements.
They'll work with us. Yep.
Thank you.
Any further questions?
No.
I have a couple of questions. Just give me one moment. My questions specifically relate to the delivery and the TIS that was prepared. The TIS talks about the delivery through the washed out bay, but it also talks about a individual manual approach for somebody having to put out manually for the life of the development cones for delivery. And I'm interested in how this provides clear and certain solution. The document talks about if we can't go through bay 2, we'll go through bay 3. If we can't do that, we'll just essentially park in the driveway. So to me, there seems to be I suppose my question's around what is the certainty of the solution, because it kind of seems like we'll just pick everything.
So I guess we've given you multiple options to show that we've done our due diligence, that if for one reason something was to fail, we had a backup. So the intent is obviously as the owner of both places, in the morning of the delivery, wash bay 1 will be coned off until delivery has been done, then the cones will be removed.
And you said that both facilities are managed by the one tenant? Okay. And so is that a management of that and the obligation of essentially the liquor store staff?
Yes. Yep. And it's also one of the conditions that the City of Kwinana have imposed on us as well. So condition number 9.
Yes, no, I'm familiar with the condition. I was curious as a proposal of this nature, seeking a delivery solution that requires on every delivery in the mornings, and your document refers it coming in the morning, requires a manual operator action, which is unusual. It's usually a dedicated bay that doesn't require that regular action. And a life of a facility like this could be 20 plus years.
Every time there's a delivery for the liquor store, someone always needs to be there. So it's as simple as coming out and putting cones, just closing down wash bay 1. So while it seems maybe unorthodox, it isn't a laborious activity. It's putting down 10 or 15 cones, which will be in line with our delivery and management plans. For the delivery of that, half an hour, they will be moved on, cones will be gone a couple of times a week.
Thank you. That's my only question. Any other questions to panel members? If not, thank you for your presentation. We will now move to city officers. We have online Brett Camel, Chris Valentine and Lachlan Duncanson. I'm not sure if I've pronounced all your surnames correctly.
Yeah, that's all correct. Thank you.
Right, I'm going to hand over to yourself. Do you have any comments you wish to make on this application or in response to any comments that you've heard in today's meeting?
No, we just, I suppose, thank the applicant for addressing the concerns of the city and MODAP from the last meeting. We've assessed the revised plans, including our internal referrals, etc. We're satisfied with the revised proposal and have applied some conditions to ensure requiring some various management plans, but that'll ensure the sort of safe and appropriate ongoing operation of the facility. So we're here to take any questions if the panel has, but we're satisfied with the application as it presents.
Thank you. We will go to questions. We will go to councillors online. Firstly, to Councillor Matthew Rouse. Do you have any questions to city officers?
No questions from me, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. I will now go to Councillor Barry Winmar. Do you have any questions to city officers?
No, Madam Chair, no questions for our officers.
Thank you. Members in the room, do you have any questions to city officers? Heidi Ho? No. Member Clayton?
Just one. It goes back to the location of the curbside bin collection. Do you have any concerns about it being doubling up on parking bays, or alternatively, as was suggested, a landscaping strip which is very close to the corner? Do you have any concerns around those?
No, we think it can be worked out through the waste management plan. We know in the case of some of these developments that the bins are wheeled out directly to the waste truck as it's picked up. So the bins aren't sitting out, blocking a either a landscaping strip or a parking bay for any extended period of time. And the city's happy to work this out through the waste management plan as amended by the applicant.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? My question goes to a similar question that I just asked the applicant. I do note that your RA does indicate that you are satisfied with the material supplied. Can you just speak a little bit further about the loading and the delivery that uses both the bay, the cones, and that you're satisfied that delivery will occur appropriately with sweat path on the site and not within the easement area?
Again, we're satisfied with the updated sweat path analysis that the applicant provided. We think that the arrangement to close off Wash Bay 3 for the delivery, and given the time of the delivery as well, the fact that it will be at a very low traffic or low volume period for the car wash business, we're satisfied that the delivery can be taken out at that time without interfering with the operation of the site, and confident again that any further matters can be addressed through the required management plans to be submitted by the applicant.
Thank you. Are there any further questions from any panel members? If there are no further questions, I will, actually just before I move to the recommendation, I will move back to the applicant. If I have a specific question in relation to your amended conditions. You referred to them as the 5th of September, with one of them being Rev C.
Yep.
Are they all Rev C?
They're all Rev.
They're all Rev C.
They're all Rev C. It was just
I just wondered why you'd separate it in your wording.
it was consistent with what the wording was in the condition. So those conditions had those two conditions had just dated 5th June, and the other one had revision B June. So it was just matching the wording.
Thank you. I will now move to the agenda. The recommendation is for approval. Is there a move of the RA recommendation as written? It is moved, Heidi Keggett. Is there a seconder for the RA recommendation?
I'll second that recommendation, Madam
It
Chair.
is seconded. Matthew Rouse, would the mover like to speak to the motion?
Obviously, this is a reconsideration of an item that came before us a couple of months ago. I'm satisfied that the issues that were raised in terms of additional information required or clarification, and any technical issues, particularly in the context of what I specialize in, traffic, parking, access, and safety, have been more than adequately addressed in the context of not just additional assessment information provided in the updated RAR, but also in terms of the conditions associated with the recommendations. So I think that any outstanding issues have been addressed, and it's an appropriate use for the location. And I recommend approval.
Thank you. Would the seconder like to speak to the motion?
Yeah, just briefly, Chair. Thank you. Obviously, yeah, we had a lengthy discussion at our first step meeting in regards to this matter. I'm also satisfied that the matters that concerned us in the first place has now been addressed. Happy that the tree is to be retained and is in good health. I know that comes at a cost of one vacuum bay, so I appreciate those amended plans. I'm happy with the answers that have been provided by the applicant to the questions asked by the panel. The updated traffic impact statements is acceptable and addresses the delivery of goods and waste collection, I think. And so I thank the applicant and the city for working together to achieve this outcome. And I'm happy to approve this motion.
Thank you. Are there any other speakers on the motion on the table? Yes, Member Clayton Heim.
Thank you. Just before part of this, I think I would like to move the amendments to condition 11, 13 and 18 as by the applicant.
We're going to Amendment 1 to modify conditions 11, 13 and 18, which principally changes the date to the 5th of September 2025, which reflects the plans that we have in our documentation. Is there a seconder for Amendment 1. It is seconded. Heidi Herget. Would you like to speak to the amendment?
No, I think it's self-explanatory. Thank you.
Seconder like to speak to
No.
the. Is there any other speakers to Amendment 1? Member Barry Winmar, I can't see you online. Did you have any comments on Amendment 1?
Yeah, there's no further comments. Happy with the recommendation for the approval and the way that the applicant has worked with the city to address the issues that outlined in the first meeting.
Thank you. Would you move along? Right.
That's fine.
We are going to the vote on Amendment 1. All those in favour? Member Barry Winmar, can you advise how you're voting on Amendment 1?
In the affirmative.
Thank you.
Madam Chair.
That is carried unanimously for the minute taker. We move back to the agenda on substantive. And you to yourself, Clayton.
I'm generally satisfied with this proposal. It does satisfy the intent and provisions of the scheme and the structure plan. I note the issues raised through the consultation process. These are adequately addressed in the RAR, and I don't think they remain as issues. Revised plan has really adequately had regard to the protection of the tree, and I congratulate the guys for the way they've done that. I'm not convinced that it's a landmark building, but it seems to be that it satisfies to some extent the structure plan requirements, but I don't think it's a major factor in this particular location. Noting the proposed delivery arrangements and waste management collection, I'm always concerned when it relies on human intervention on such a regular basis. However, I'm happy that the various plans will be addressed and satisfied, and if they're not, there's no impact beyond this site, so any impact is actually on the business itself. So all in all, I'm satisfied with the proposal. I'm happy to support it.
Thank you. Any other speakers? I will speak to this proposal. Like others, I'm supportive of the proposal as provided. I wasn't part of the initial considerations, but I've duly considered both the documentation we have in this report as well as reviewing the previous details in the previous report, and I'm comfortable that the proposal is appropriate in the context of its location and the planning framework, as has already been indicated through members today. I'm also satisfied that the additional material that has been provided has addressed the deferral reasons, and I've already made some comments in relation to vehicle manoeuvring on site. However, I am satisfied with the comments by city officers that the on-site delivery is acceptable and that the delivery arrangements do not impact operators or users of the other sites, as well as the reciprocal right-way carriageway, and doesn't impact traffic movement along that. So from my perspective, those matters have been addressed. One of the most significant changes from my perspective, as has already been indicated, is the retention of that tree, and I commend the applicant and their support team for achieving that. I do note that there will be some challenges through the development phase and the conditions that reflect those provisions, and would encourage as much as can possibly be done to ensure that that tree both is retained and is managed to survive through those works. The arborist has provided a list of obligations and recommendations to achieve that, so I'm satisfied that this proposal is appropriate in its locational context and within the planning framework. Are there any other speakers on the motion, substantive motion? If not, we move back to the mover for right of reply and close of debate. That's yourself, Member Heidi Herget.
No.
The vote has been closed. We are going to the vote on the substantive, including the amendment. All those in favour?
Aye.
Thank you. And can I go to Member Barry Winmar? I can't see you online. How are you voting on this motion?
Aye. voting in the affirmative, presiding member. Thank you.
Thank you. For the minute taker, it is carried unanimously. I now move back to the agenda. There are no Form 2 applications and no Section 31 SAT reconsiderations. Part C of our agenda provides information on SAT applications. There is one here listed for the city, however, I will not speak to that. And accordingly, I close today's meeting at 10:05 a.m. And I thank everybody for your participation.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Thank you.